Hi, Rabbi Cat Zavis from Beit Tikkun, coming to you after high holidays and after Sukkot, and it's been a whirlwind. And obviously, hello, Eli. I'm also coming to you after um, the ceasefire or the attempt at a ceasefire. Israel's not actually following the ceasefire. They're still killing the Palestinians, but in significantly lower numbers, thank God. And Palestinians are attempting to return to their homes in Gaza. Fortunately, and thank God, the Israeli captives have been released, and that up to about 2,000 Palestinian captives have also been released. There are still 10,000 languishing in Israeli prisons, most of whom have not been charged or tried for anything, and still children and women. So we're still in a time of devastation, destruction, and uncertainty. And it's hard. And this weekend, this Shabbat, we read Bereshit, in the beginning or at the beginning. And it's the story of, the unfolding of creation, the beginning of the divine separating evening from day, um, calling forth seeds to sprout into plants and trees and life, calling forth animals and eventually human beings. And Rabbi Nachum Ward-Lev has this beautiful teaching about Bereshit, in which he says that the seeds of the prophetic tradition of liberation are planted in Bereshit, because God does what the Torah tells us God does in this Parsha is that God calls forth seeds that will yield fruit, that will yield plants and animals, and it's calling forth these things. And so what's so beautiful about that is that the seeds of liberation and transformation are planted right in Bereshit, just as they're planted in all of us and in life itself. And as I reflected upon this teaching in relationship to this historical moment that we're in, which is challenging and in many ways quite horrific, still in Gaza and the West Bank, horrors are continuing to occur. And in the United States, people are being rounded up and kidnapped. And thank God for the creative energies of people in Portland and in Chicago that are putting brakes on the fascism. So in this time of Bereshit, in this time of birthing and planting seeds, I want to, excuse me, I want to bless us, call all of us to plant seeds of liberation. And when we see those seeds sprouting that others have planted, that we water those shoots, that we water those seeds, that we stand in solidarity with the liberation struggles in Palestine, and in the streets in the United States, in Venezuela, in all the places in the world where people are standing up, in Italy and Colombia, and all the places around the world where people are continuing to plant seeds for transformation and for liberation. May we embody the divine that is our birthright, that is within each of us, to to help grow and strengthen these liberation struggles. And in Genesis 2, in Bereshit, we read that God breathed God's breath into human beings through the nose, and that ruach, that life force, that divine life force, is placed within each of us. So as you take a deep breath in, imagine the breath of the divine, breathing divine life force into you to give you the courage, to give all of us the courage and audacity to struggle and stand in solidarity with and be steadfast and committed to our efforts for a world of love and liberation and justice from all rivers to all seas. Shabbat Shalom.